Now, I hate snakes. I hate them. My philosophy is that if Indiana Jones doesn't have to like them, I don't have to like them either. But with that being said, today we're going to talk all about snakes. More importantly, the most venomous snakes in the world. So let's dive right on in because we have a lot to talk about. Number 10 is the eastern diamondback rattlesnake. Rattlesnakes, or really the eastern diamondback rattlesnake, is the only snake from America on this list, and is the most venomous species in the Americas as well. The species has a hemotoxin venom that destroys tissues, degenerates organs, and causes coagulopathy, which is disrupted blood clotting. Most bite victims also experience difficulty breathing, drooling, massive hemorrhaging, paralysis, and even lose limbs. While rattlesnake bites are lethal, if antivenom is applied in time, it reduces the risk of death to less than 4%. Interestingly enough, juvenile rattlesnakes are actually more dangerous than adults because of their inability to control the amount of venom they inject. Number 9 is the death adder. The death adder is found in Australia and New Guinea and actually hunts and kills other snakes, even some on this list, via ambush. They also look quite similar to vipers, as they have a triangular shaped head and short, squatty bodies. They have the quickest strike in the world, as the snake can go from a striking position, strike its target, and then come back within 0.13 seconds. The death adder venom is a neurotoxin and can cause paralysis and death due to respiratory failure. However, there is relatively slow progression of symptoms, and they usually manifest after 24 to 48 hours. Before the creation of antivenom, the death rate for a death adder bite was 50%. Number 8 is the saw-scaled viper. Vipers are found throughout the world, but probably the most venomous one is the saw-scaled viper, found in the Middle East and Central Asia. This snake tends to be fairly aggressive, quick-tempered, and are very fast, which is not a great combination. The venom causes pain wherever you were bit, and usually swells. Most victims bleed from their gums and experience a drop in blood pressure and heart rate. The area around the bite starts to blister and necrosis occurs, but it's usually superficial. Severe pain will last for 2 to 4 weeks, and there's a strong chance of death from respiratory or cardiac failure, anywhere between 1 day to 2 weeks after the bite. Number 7 is the Philippine cobra. While most species of cobra wouldn't make this list, the Philippine cobra is the most venomous cobra in the world, and are actually capable of spitting their venom up to 10 feet. The venom itself is a neurotoxin that interrupts the transmission of nerve signals by binding it to the neuromuscular junctions near the muscles. Symptoms can include headaches, vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, abdominal pain, dizziness, and convulsions. It also affects the cardiac and respiratory functions and can lead to respiratory paralysis and death within 30 minutes. Number 6 is the tiger snake. The tiger snake lives in Australia and will usually flee if encountered, but becomes aggressive when it feels cornered and strikes with deadly accuracy. It has a very potent neurotoxin venom, and symptoms can include localized pain in the bitten area, feelings of tingling and numbness, then followed rapidly with breathing difficulties and paralysis. Death from the bite can occur within 30 minutes, but it usually takes about 6 to 24 hours. Before the antivenom was developed, the death rate for a tiger snake bite was between 60 and 70%. Number 5 is the black mamba. The black mamba is found in many parts of Africa and is the fastest snake in the world, reaching speeds of up to 12 miles an hour. The snake is highly aggressive, can strike with unerring aim, and can even strike up to 12 times in a row. The venom is a fast-acting neurotoxin and can cause pain in the bitten area, although not as severe as snakes with hemotoxins. The victim then experiences tingling sensations, double vision, confusion, foaming at the mouth, and lack of muscle control. The symptoms will then rapidly progress to severe abdominal pain, shock, cardiotoxicity, and paralysis. Depending on the bite, death can result within 15 minutes to 3 hours. Before the antivenom was developed, the mortality rate was almost 100%. The black mamba also has enough venom to kill 10 to 12 grown adults with a single bite. Number 4 is the blue crate. The blue crate is a nocturnal snake that is found throughout Southeast Asia and Indonesia. While they are far more aggressive at night, they are still quite timid and would rather hide than strike. But man, if they strike, you are going down. Their venom is a neurotoxin that is 16 times more potent than a cobra, and it quickly induces muscle paralysis by preventing the nerve endings to properly release the chemical that sends messages to the next nerve. Before the development of antivenom, the death rate was 85%. But even now, after administering antivenom, 50% of all strikes are still lethal. Number 3 is the eastern brown snake. The eastern brown snake lives in Australia, where its preferred habitat just so happens to be near the major cities. So that's not good. The snake is also aggressive in certain circumstances and has been known to chase after people and repeatedly strike them if provoked. The venom contains both neurotoxins and blood coagulants, and less than 1/14,000th of an ounce is enough to kill an adult male. Fortunately for us, less than half of all bites actually contain venom, and they prefer not to bite if at all possible. Number 2 is the inland tapir. The inland tapir lives in Australia and is the most venomous land snake in the world. It's 10 times more venomous than a rattlesnake, 50 times more venomous than a cobra, and the maximum yield for a bite contains enough venom to kill 100 people. Fortunately, the snake isn't very aggressive, and it usually isn't encountered by humans. While no casualties have ever been reported, it could potentially kill a human within 45 minutes, if not sooner. Number 1 is the Belcher sea snake. Found off the coast of Southeast Asia and northern Australia, the Belcher sea snake is the most venomous snake in the world. While they are relatively docile and only a quarter of all bites actually contain venom, just a few milligrams is enough to kill 1,000 people. The most common victims are fishermen, as they encounter the snake when they pull in the nets from the ocean. So there we have it. Those are the top 10 most venomous snakes in the entire world. You don't want to run into any of them. But what y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sound out down in the comments down below. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos just like this one every single week. I'll see you next time. Bye.